I don't know if it was sacrilegious to
Hold
chefs,
on.
but or what.
No, it's not sacrilegious. I think it's really funny.
Good. I haven't seen him since Muscle's glasses apparently fucking died. I didn't know that was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But R.I.P. to the boy.
Whatever. The other stuff's fucked.
That's
Okay.
pretty fucked.
We ready?
Should we start with something comedic first?
The comedic was already talking about epic mealtime, and then I don't know if I recorded the super player stuff while I was killing the flies, but I can find out. But
Oh, hopefully you didn't record what I said. We shouldn't be recording this. I hope this is not recorded.
Yeah, there's some shit he didn't want recorded.
I don't fucking know. If it was while I was up, if it was
Yeah,
while
it
I
was
was on
later on.
cam,
when you were up.
then I'm
Yeah.
gonna piss my pants listening to it after, and that's the comedic bit right there. No one will know what the fuck it was. Well, welcome everybody to Berserk Team Talk number 36. We got a lot of fucking news at San Diego Comic-Con, huh? Zenkai. I don't know. I'm hyped for it. I think most people are. I haven't seen anybody really complain about it. I know there's definitely some rulings that have gone through. Like there's some rule change with a couple of keyword skills. One being ultimate that we were talking about. I guess awakening's a keyword skill, right? It's a different color, but there's a change with that as well too. So we got a couple of topics to cover here, but the main thing being what we all thought about the Zenkai reveal. So I already made a shitty video on it, so you guys go nuts. Briar, you go first. You know, you got the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates. I know nothing about One Piece, so I hope that was right.
Yeah,
That
good
was
enough.
on point.
Close enough.
That was on point.
Yeah,
That was
pretty
pretty
close.
on point. Pretty on point.
Yeah, sure. So thoughts about Zenkai? I think it's fantastic. It's going to introduce a lot of cool dynamics. It does bring a lot more strategies into viability as well, because the fact that when you combo, of course, you can choose to put that card in your Zenkai. So what happens is like a lot of decks early game, they just swing with leader and then pass, right? And then the defending player would always combo, right? But now that defending player, after they combo, can put that card in the Z energy, which means the guy going on the offense actually falls behind on the Z energy curve. So it forces them to now decide if they want to overcommit with their combos to push for damage and also get early Z energy, or it may want them to do something where like they play 10Ks or something like that and then combo so that they're still like meeting that curve for the 15K. There's a lot of like little things there, right? And the other thing that springs to mind as well is green decks that use the Bardock Unison, and any green deck that can use the Herdigarn, the green stuff, or even the red-green Brawly Arrival stuff from set 7, any of those types of cards that messes with your opponent's combo area ends up netting you so much more value now because there's no Z energy. Like, you're denying your opponent Z energy. They have to basically overcommit. You can say, oh yeah, well they can just combo one more card. It's like, yeah, they can combo one more card, which means they're having a smaller hand. And especially with like I don't want to go too far ahead, but like especially with that new Roshi archetype where you're basically free playing one drops, you can literally get the Bardock Unison out, +1, kill your own one drop, deny your opponent one more card in hand, and then swing at them with something with like the crit dude or whatever, deny them more cards in hand because they need to combo to survive, but then they need to combo even more because you have the Bardock out, and if you have the Kurdigar stuff in there too, because especially now that the Brawly SCR is getting reprinted too, you're even more incentivized to go for the green Herdigar stuff, which means you have a cascade effect where certain green decks, if they're able to pull it off with the right list, end up being really, really good in this type of meta going in, at least at the start of this series.
For anyone playing green, right? It's just like so good to feel like, you know what? Black, you get to be in our place now. That's you guys get to sit back and everyone can make fun of you now. And then this green, you already got the golden Frieza stuff. Obviously cooler, everyone's pissed off how good that deck can be. And then now just going in, I don't know if anybody saw any King Piccolo spoilers, but holy shit, like that they're just like, yeah, you know what? We kind of neutered this deck in red. Well, let's try it again.
Reprinted in green. Reprinted in green.
Yeah, let's try it again. Let's give it a dormant, and and some of the stuff, like it seemed like you might be able to go red green. So I don't know. And that Z awakened Piccolo, I think is pretty good too.
spicy
Yeah.
meatball right there.
Absolutely. Like I do follow the train of thought that Biriard is like presenting, in the sense of like, now we need to value killing combo, just because of that's a brand new resource that's literally like killing someone's energy. With that being said, I do believe that Senkai does fix a lot of the older problems. And with this, I mean like consistency and certain aspects of decks not being viable. Now, with you having an extra deck that you can actually browse through and actually play what you need to play, makes a lot of decks way more consistent. And I'm a little bit scared of how things are gonna go uh going forward, just because historically Bandai has been known for power creeping too hard. And I think green unisons are a really good example. Like generic good green unisons and uninteractable sections in the game are very difficult to deal with. And now you're adding a Senkai that could go into your leader, which is uninteractable, or certain aspects of not being able to interact with your opponent.
I
I
mean,
think that's going to be very crucial in this coming meta.
that's why being able to remove someone's combo is going to be a good thing. Being able to remove cards from your opponent's drop area to the warp is going to be important as well. Trying to slow down your opponent from being able to combo from the drop as well.
Yeah, there's
Which
plenty of
is
unisons that combo from the drop. Like U7 has a couple. The blue androids have some.
It's
So
not even just the unisons. There's the leaders. Like let's say Android 16, he combos from the drop.
Red Beerus.
Red Beerus,
That was one we were talking about. Yeah.
Red Green Broly, who
The
also
new starter deck leaders, almost all
Even
of them have it.
U6 Kaba
Mhm.
might
the other
become a
Yep.
thing,
thing.
Don't
but
tell anybody.
the other thing about all of this though is, because Zenkai is a new area that only can use specific cards, like, yes, all of these decks have access to Zenkai, but it depends on how generic like the main set Zenkai cards are. Because they could easily keep it a little bit more archetype specific. Because it sounds like they're trying to make the Zenkai cards kind of fall within like a generic era, how they will work, rather than being very leader specific. So I guess once we see the reveals on that, that'll really show if Zenkai is going to dominate, from the beginning as a mechanic.
Oh, I think it will.
Yeah, Unison
Well,
did right off the bat, right? Especially because the free play stuff. But the one thing that came to my head literally instantly when you said combo killing, do you think you're gonna bring back that old fucking Jacko card, the blue one that bounces back one of your opponent's combo pieces? Like, how funny would that be? Just so you only comboed one card. Sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, this thing's gonna go in my Z energy, and your thing's gonna go back to your hand. Get fucked.
We have that Westkai card that's a better Jocko.
That's true.
There's a couple. There's a couple.
Yeah.
There's a couple of cards that I think will become relevant, but then we haven't tested the set, and it's a matter of how impactful is the Senkai area going to be versus me adding 4 or 6 copy of a response for this new area. And
That's
how
true.
consistently from my deck I'm going to be able to pull those cards when it matters, right? And there's obviously going to be decks that are going to play aggro that it's only going to be like 1 Senkai energy and 1 energy, and then you're dead. And I'm honestly, black is in a really bad spot, and that's the only reason why I'm concerned about black Senkai cards. And I
Well,
said it in the last team talk, and I'm gonna say it again. Dark Broly, it's 1 or 2 cards away from being what it was. And I saw a couple of black Brolys in the Senkai set, so I feel like they're trying to put back a little bit of power into Broly, which is really freaking scary. if they do that, they're gonna have to speed up the meta, because if not, people are just gonna be dying left and right. Broly is just gonna run rampant, dealing with people's drop area, because that's the only deck that, I'm not gonna say the only deck. There's more decks that can interact with U7's drop, but Dark Broly is one of the best decks that interact with U7's drop, and that's gonna be massive.
Well, I think Zenkai is Bandai's attempt at solving this plague of, games going into time and just being too long, because it kind of incentivizes you now to be aggro. It incentivizes you to use the cards in your hand. I think it kind of decentivizes leaders that don't attack. Those kind of strategies. So it seems like they're trying to healthily force the game into more of a turn 4 meta and just more aggro strategies. So I think that's good in that regard.
Yeah, that is
Depending on
that is
how
true.
depending on how generic these Zenkai cards become too, there's decks that are obviously going to prosper from it too, like U7 Gohan, Launch,
Oh yeah.
Red Hercule, Surge Broly, like anything that wants you to combo, depending on how generic that Zenkai area can and might be, will determine how good those decks become too.
That was a big question that was being asked, at least on stream, was people were wondering how the Zenkai energy, if it was colorless or not. So apparently the official ruling that at least Eggman and Android, when they were there, doing the tutorials, is it's colorless, even though it shows colors on the Zenkai, but it's shown as a colorless card. So I was just like, it shows as multicolor, but I guess it's just following whatever color the card is not a specified cost. So that's another thing too, where I was just like, is it better for Android 16 because it's comboing a multicolor card, or no? So it's as long as just whatever card's in there, it's going to the drop, just the numbers, all that matters. So just for anyone that was wondering that.
But also
Yeah.
it's
It's
Bandai,
true,
and the rules haven't been written for Senkai yet. So it could become a thing where they realize oh, we might need to make this more specific.
Maybe,
There
but
could be a
they're
last minute change on it. But as of right now, the whole colorless thing is, it's correct.
I mean,
The only card that's been shown, was the Super Saiyan Vegito, Zenkai battle card, where it has the permanent. If you have 3 or more colors in your Z energy, then a card gains barrier while it's in play. So as of right now, that's the only card that's been shown or leaked or whatever you want to call it that has a need per se to really look at the color inside the Z energy. Otherwise, it's pretty much empty and colorless in a sense.
yeah, but theoretically, one card in your Z energy in that Vegito deck is all 3 colors. So
As long as it's a Goku or Vegeta, right?
yeah, yeah.
So that confirms that the Zenkai energy is an area that can be. So any cards that say in all areas would still refer to a Zenkai area,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
It's a public area.
I would assume so. Yes.
And Charles, I did see that there is one blue card that is a little bit different than all the other Senkais. All the Senkai cards have the Senkai cost with no shiny edge on it. There's one blue card that I saw, and I can't remember exactly what card it was. I'll look it up. Oh, it was a Senkai leader, the Ultra Instinct Son Goku Limitless Awakened. I don't know if it's because it's foil that the blue has a gold foiling around the number of the Senkai energy. Do you think they might balance it out where Senkais with no border are colorless, but Senkais with this border are
Are
required
you talking
this
about
color?
the
The
Double
leader.
Strike Goku promo leader?
Yeah.
I think that's just the gold stamped
Is
version of the
that the
card.
That's probably
foiling
what
of
it
the
is.
card?
Right.
Yeah, that's the pre-release card. So, and there's usually a gold stamp and a non-gold stamp. So that's probably
Yeah, so that's probably all it is.
Yeah, and honestly,
The more I
Alejandro,
think about it this way too. I mean, Bandai is trying to make a mechanic that is really easy to grasp to bring in new player base. So I don't think they would want to overcomplicate it too much.
And Eliandro, Double Strike Crit was said, and you're wearing that hat, and you didn't rap, do nothing. I'm honestly upset. That was.
We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, that's. Well,
So what do you guys think about what that one is on the bottom of the cards?
I think first
one in the
edition,
little
right?
orange
That
Dragon Ball?
seems
Yeah.
that seems like that's what they're probably going, because now they've already, at least in this Unison set with, what was it, Vermilion Bloodline, it was set 10 and 11 that they reprinted, right?
Yeah, Rise of Unison Warrior and Vermilion.
Yeah, so there now it's kind of like we're open to, we're doing reprints. We did it before just to try to keep, I guess, card prices a little more friendly on the market for new people entering the game, which at least they did something right at Comic-Con. Like, they had the fucking huge wall, looked really nice from at least all the pictures that we got, and they had a really nice trailer. And what's the view count on that thing now? It's like 130K views in like a couple days. Like, I think that might be one of the highest for Dragon Ball videos, right?
I did watch it 6 times just
So-
to try to find the cards and read
I-
them. So I feel like a lot of us did the same
Oh, that's
thing.
okay. But I'm saying it's at least something where it's like, wow, maybe this will actually get out to people that have never heard about the game before, people that went to Comic-Con, because obviously, this is the first time in how many years that they had they didn't have a Comic-Con, right? So
San
yeah,
Diego Comic-Con, yeah.
yeah, so it was packed to the gills apparently. Like, it probably would be anyway, but people going in and, oh, this Dragon Ball Heroes movie or superhero movie. Oh, what's this? There's cards. There's a card game. What? This art looks sick. What the fuck's going on? But I'm glad at least Bandai's like, oh, this is perfect to come into the game. These starter decks, blah blah blah. Every color, not black, but every color. We got our own starter deck here. Out of the starter deck,
Black hate.
it is what it is. I guess Shroom and Salsa. I love my boys to death. At least the deck, being a weird deck. I hope this one, is just slightly better, just like PyCon's slightly better. So I can lose turn 3 instead.
So I really like the original PyCon leader. I think the deck was so mid.
Mm-hmm.
But like just being able to generically look at 2 cards and pick one to add it to your hand, as long as it was blue. Depending on how the new PyCon deck works, that leader might be really good.
I was gonna say, I don't even care about like how the new leader, sure, he's on fire or whatever, looks cooler, but that Z Awakened leader that I don't know if it's officially shown, but where it's one of the only Z Awakened leaders. There's probably more, obviously, but the one that I paid attention to that doesn't have a life restriction. It's just as long as you're awakened. Everything else, like, you need to be 3 or less life, 2 or less life. This one's just like, yeah, you're double strike. You get a draw 2, top deck 1, bounce back an 8 cost PyCon. Not the SCR, but we'll get to that ultimate keyword switch. But
Well, why? It feels like everyone kind of forgot that SS4 Vegeta was supposed to be the hype.
It wasn't shown. I was actually pretty disappointed, but it's the only. I think it's the only leader in the video that wasn't shown. They just showed Shroom and Salsa, not Vegito.
Well, they didn't show a second yellow leader, but we're assuming that it's going to be Gohan, Pan, and Piccolo.
No, they did. It's Yellow Piccolo. If you watch the trailer, it's in the background. Yeah. So
Which leads me to believe that yellow is going to be probably the last color, kind of like how they did with releasing the movie with the Secret Rare.
Yep.
So yellow is probably going to end up being the last color, which sucks because Bardock finally got a new leader that's hopefully halfway decent, unlike the last 2.
Please.
So now I'm going to have to sit there and wait again until the very last reveal.
They might do what like they did last time, because they split up a leader before, like with Piccolo and Dripku. They did 2 separate weeks for that, so they could reveal Bardock and then go to Piccolo.
That's true. They might do that too.
I think if they're just starting with green because it was revealed at San Diego Comic-Con, so we're probably just going to be going through the green cycle.
Well, that was voted for too. They had a poll to vote what color, and green won that.
Did it win it?
Color first. Yeah,
they did that. They did that 2 sets ago, and I was told that they were following the poll when they did that for the Wish Zamasu leader and like that whole set, whatever set that was, Realm of Gods.
I'm glad that that's what they picked. Like Dragon Ball and like a lot of the art too. When you see like some of the Piccolo stuff, like they're embracing the art style, which I like when they do stuff like that, and it's not just one generic art style the whole time. I know we won't get completely into like cards and stuff. We'll probably get a complete another team talk, when we do our spoilers with colors and everything. But any final thoughts on Zenkai, like at least anything that you might have like picked up on that wasn't immediately like, oh yeah, we all know how to charge it now with combos and all that, but was there anything that you were thinking in the back of your head like, oh, what about this situation?
The thing that pops in my mind is just more about like how good it is overall, because instead of needing to always reboot a bunch of leaders, because you've noticed like they've been doing a lot of reboots, right?
Yeah.
They don't need to do that anymore, right? Just like how they had that Z leader for the Vegito, right? For like the old Vegito, you basically can print a bandage solution to any leader that is outdated or struggling or whatever, or if it's broken or anything like that, and you don't need to worry about reprinting something. You can make something new, which means you're pushing for new product. And new product, obviously, that's a good thing, because that means people are going to look to buy it instead of like, oh man, I got to buy this old leader again, just a little bit better now. Like, come on.
Well, it does seem like they're probably going to have quite a few rulings to figure out with what constitutes a Z leader as being treated as a leader and what doesn't. Because you can't flip a Z leader face. You can't flip it back, to the front side of the leader. So like, it makes me wonder if maybe other cards that would normally affect a leader would not affect a Z leader, like this
Like
monster
yellow-
thing, or
Yellow Broly, where it taps it down and keeps it tapped.
Mm-hmm.
well, there was the one where the people are like trying to be like, oh, the 9-drop Broly can place a Z leader in the drop area, right? But then that was like, no. That was all. I saw that all over the Facebook groups where people are like, "Oh, you
my
can do
God.
this."
I got
mean,
a
I
headache
think
about
about
that at
that
like
one.
9 o'clock in the morning. That one fucking dude wanted to keep arguing with me. He's like, we don't need your opinions. We only need facts. Nothing's a fact and everybody's wrong until the rule book comes out. I was like,
Or until the head judge says.
or
Yeah.
until I get word from a certain somebody that it doesn't work like that and everybody just takes my word for it. But,
So
I mean,
was
okay.
it confirmed?
Yeah, the 9-drop won't touch the leader.
Okay.
I'm like, bro.
Yeah,
he's
they
like,
already went out and said that cards that, but I think they need to make like that's a problem now, right? Like you have C leaders, and now the Shilai, does the Shilai super combo affect your leader if it's a C leader?
Yeah.
Because it's a C leader? Like things like that need to be revised, and it might need to get changed, and that's another like aspect of adding a new mechanic to the game. Like
So as of right now, Z leaders, while they're in play, are going to be treated like any other leader. Like,
They're leaders.
so it wouldn't be called a C leader once it gets played in the C lead, like in the leader area. It just becomes a
exactly.
C
And
awakened
as of right
leader.
now, the only card that gets rid of itself is the green Gotenks.
And there's another one too.
The Goku,
I-
the yellow Goku does too. He gets rid of himself.
it?
Like
Okay,
that's his
I-
ultimate effect. But they're almost kind of like reminds me of Wish leaders where they flip on their front after. Well, old Wish leaders. I know the Meki, and I don't think Goku Black does that either. But yeah, I think he gets 10k and double strike on top of it, and then remove it after the battle.
Yeah. 10k
Okay.
double strike at the end of battle, remove it.
Yeah, so they can remove themselves, but that seems to be about it. The one thing that was coming to my head there, I completely lost it now. That with the whole oh yeah, Zenkai battle cards, like they're saying they're treated as battle cards, right? It's just they don't have a combo cost. At least we haven't seen a single one. The combo cost here is kind of replaced by their Zenkai cost. The thing with that people I seen were asking if a 2-cost Zenkai battle card that doesn't have deflect, can I focus breakthrough it? If it has like 4 Z energy required with it too. It's just like, is it still a 2-cost battle card coming in?
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
I think they confirmed
That's what I
that.
feel.
That's why they gave all of the first set ones deflect.
Deflect, yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. 'Cause it's just like, oh god, I built up
But
all this
they
combo
already
power.
Yeah, they made cards about that already in the Q&A about things like God Sealing and other cards that would affect, look at the normal energy cost, and then if like it would go to the hand, it would go to the Zenkai deck instead, or if it to the bottom of the deck, it would go back to the Zenkai deck.
Yeah, because you can't draw cards from your Zenkai deck. So if you try to play something and it gets God Sealing, it just goes right back to your Zenkai deck.
Okay, that's another good one because it said once it leaves the battle area, it's removed from the game. Right? That's all
Yeah, it
Zenkai.
never hit the battle area.
I know.
Those cards-
Yeah.
No. This is like another situation. Like, say it was charismatic, didn't have barrier. Well, yeah, because it would still have an energy cost.
Charismatic is
Yeah, so
relevant.
it gets hit, and then instead of going to the drop, all Zenkai cards just get removed from the game. Then, so
I guess the other question too would be, when you reveal a Zenkai card to play, do you pay the energy cost and the Zenkai energy cost at the same time,
Yep.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
then the counter window opens?
it's
It's
like
part of
the
Overwhelm,
cost.
right? It'd be like Overwhelm
Yep.
almost. How you pay your cost, you put your stuff to the warp, and then the card comes out.
Yeah, you can look at it as if I mean
Red Topo.
this might confuse somebody, but you can look at it as like you said with Overwhelm, like say Overwhelm cost is like Overwhelm 6, but it costs 2 energy. Like your cost for your Overwhelm is the 6, but the skill cost itself is the 2. So you can kind of look at it like from that kind of perspective where the battle card might cost 2, but the skill cost is 3 Zenkai energy or something like that, just to help some people mentally
Yeah.
like make sense
Yeah.
of it starting out.
Cost.
But
It's a combined cost paid at the same time, unless it's being
exactly.
played via
The thing,
skill.
though, is
Yeah.
that it only opens up one counter window.
But then that's my other question with the Zenkai, because this is treated as a extra deck, right? This is technically our extra deck.
Yeah.
Would it be considered, like, let's say I have 6 cards or 7 or whatever, how many with the same cost and the same Senkai energy? Counter window 1 would be very difficult, wouldn't it?
I don't think there is a counter
Assuming it
window
follows
one.
the same play line as a normal battle card being played, you have to show which card
Reveal
you're
first.
playing. Yeah, so so it's not like you're blind. It's not like you're like, okay, I'm going to play this card, but it's my open area and you don't know about it. Like, you're not playing it with a skill, so there's no counter window 1, counter window 2. You're still hard casting it, so you still need to show you need to reveal it prior to it being in play.
It's like hard casting a card from your hand. It's
Exactly. It's just a
Just an extra
secondary
hand,
hand in a
yeah.
sense.
But again, this is like a place where newer players will have that like difficulty
Newer
of jumping.
players who won't. They're like counter window 1 and 2. What the fuck you talking about? I can't play Yamcha here. Like,
Because technically you would have to open, say, opening extra deck. You open your extra deck, you flipped over the card that you're gonna play, and you say, I'm attempting to play this, flipped on your Senkai area.
Yeah, you would put
So
it.
I can see that being a rule sharking moment right there.
That Yamcha thing was a good example, though. Like,
Mhm.
if you play a card from your Zenkai deck, would that be considered playing a card with a skill,
no.
or would that be?
I think they're
hard
saying
cast?
it's hard
Hard
cast.
cast.
It's a
You're
hard
hard
cast, so you got
casting it.
one
It's a
counter
hard
window.
cast.
That's it.
That's what we were
Okay.
just talking about. Literally.
I thought
Unless
so.
it literally
I kind
has
of
a
missed
skill.
it. I was waiting to ask my next question of, do you think it's only a matter of time before we start getting Z extra cards and Z unisons and?
Z
100%.
Z
Maybe
Unison,
not
ZSCR.
Maybe not unisons, only because of the fact that it's in theory a separate block. So probably extra cards. I don't think we'll ever see a Z unison, but that's just my personal opinion.
I think they can and they will. I
I
think we're
could-
gonna see
I think it would
competition.
be a really horrible idea.
One at a
I could
time.
see this being. I could see this kind of being like the end of cards that just come out for free when your leader is played. By putting them in the Zenkai area instead. Which, if you think about it, would be good, because then that kind of opens up deck space, for like other cards, rather than just having a quote unquote 49 card deck, like with 21 Scheme or something like that. So
Yeah.
it seems like there's a lot of really good potential with the mechanic, just as long
It's
as
gonna
it's
be good.
implemented. Yeah, we've definitely got a lot of new players interested in the idea. So
Yeah,
But
a
I
lot of
don't-
returning players too.
Yeah, returning players
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't think having not right now. We don't have cards that interact with unisons, and Biriar and we've been cracking hard at how to make unisons as broken as possible, just because they can't be interacted with for besides that like niche exception of like Release from Evil or like very specific cards, right? Because not even V-Ray in most decks that are unison heavy will affect you at all. Because sure, you either choose battle cards or unison. I can go the other route. Like my deck, it's pretty 50-50. And I don't think giving unisons the amount of consistency that a C area will give any unison. Having a unison that is one energy, one Zenkai, +2, that in green, just in green, that will break green.
I mean,
Like,
it'll be more balanced than that, but
Yeah.
I can like look at the cell. The cell is a 3 cost, and it's 3 Zenkai, isn't it? That blue cell.
Yeah, that sounds
Yeah,
wild though.
that
It's
sells really
great.
good. I was gonna say what it's deflect crit, and then you can eat the whole board. And if you have 4 more cards, he gets triple
That
strike
punishes
restands.
And
going
restands.
wide. It punishes
Yeah.
going wide.
What cell are we talking about?
That card is snapped.
It's a
the
blue
blue
cell.
one.
I don't know if it was officially shown, but it was on the
It was.
wall. I was gonna say it was on the wall of stuff. I believe it's deflect crit is its base keyword skills. It's 25k. Like it's pretty high for a 3 cost, but obviously we're getting into a different realm of extra cards because it's gonna be, or sorry, not extra cards. I'm starting to speak in Yu-Gi-Oh terms here, but it was 3. Yeah, I believe it's 3/3, and then you eat your opponent's board, not ignoring barrier, and then activate main. 3/2. Okay, so then you eat your opponent's board, not ignoring barrier, and then
5 or less.
5 or less. Okay, so it's not the whole board. Okay, we're over cracking this, but that's your King Piccolo answer right there already. And then it activate main can restand if you have at least 1 card under it. You have to send all the cards underneath it to the drop, and then it is if it's 4 more,
send
it's
4
triple
more.
strike. It's triple strike and yeah, crit triple strike 25k. It's like, ooh, okay.
So
I can-
Android 21, suck up all
well,
the tokens.
I was talking about this with Chris. I
That's
think
true. They don't go underneath.
I think the Z deck, what they're trying to make is like Chris said, a format where it goes to turn 4, because I feel like decks will be more consistent because the Z cards are like looking to be really big finisher cards. And having a consistent finisher could help the game go into that quicker format. And it's also going to benefit a lot of decks like Launch. Just say, Launch has a hard time finishing the game. It combos a lot, swings a lot, but it doesn't have those like heavy finishers. But a Z deck could fix that.
Mm-hmm.
I could also see them uneroting Zamasu to work on unisons again to kind of incentivize. Because didn't we get some of these erratas that we got the last couple lists? They said we plan on eroding until this block, basically.
That was for the Super 17 promo specifically. They said that,
Okay.
which would be Zenkai 2.
But haven't they said that for other cards in the past too? I feel like I've seen it
remember.
before.
So the Super
But,
17 is going to get uneroded?
Well, they said they wanted to do it until like certain time, right? Because they're like, it's too broken for this format, but maybe, later on when it's good for other leaders and they ban stuff, they'll unerrata
Oh
it.
man, if they unerrata that, Cooler's just dead. Like, just write off, just delete it.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to stop.
I don't think so because Cooler. I guess it would kill the Frieza.
Yeah, bro. Pay 3. Oh look,
Yeah, bounce it.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to stop.
But
I'm
it
just
would
gonna
be
need
a good. It would be an easy thing to do to be like, all right, Unison Block is over, instead of just doing what they did to like Violent Predator and just being like, you know what, this card made it hard to sell the next set.
But I was gonna say, Violent Predator was it was the opposite. It's like, okay, you guys are done with monocolor now, right? Okay, here's this card, and then when you go into Unison, it's like, you guys are done with multicolor, right?
We're still going to continue getting.
I was done with multicolor, by the way.
No, yeah, but because the Unison, we already saw the Piccolo, right? That Piccolo Unison looks sick. The yellow one, at least.
The green Gotenks Unison looks pretty busted too.
Mm-hmm.
That Goku, the one for the Panstar deck, that one's actually. I don't know if anyone actually sat down and did the math, but like for a total of like 3 energy, you're getting a deflect, barrier, double strike, dual attack 35k altogether. Because you get leaders auto, its own auto, and the leaders I think activate battle or something like that as well. And then on top of it, they can just combo whatever. Like that's insane for like 3 mana.
Mm-hmm.
And what's it called? You can put them in any deck.
I
Wait,
will,
what?
I will say these blocker units are definitely aging very well with the formats. Like,
I
it
agree.
went from like, they're not good because of Piccolo Unison to, okay, they're kind of like a 2 to 3 of, and like potentially just get better and better as we get more early game finishers.
Oh, I
So
just realized what's a
pick
real
those up.
card against all the 2-drop. They're all 2-drops. All the deflect 2-drops with special effects. Dormant can kill them all.
Wait, what?
Roshi tier 1?
Dormant potential.
Yeah, buddy.
Roshi tier 1?
The only one
Brains in this thing.
Yeah, the only one it can't kill is
Cell.
the one with barrier. No, Cell. Yeah, Cell's a 3-drop, but there's another one with barrier that comes out.
The Goku gets barrier.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
the
I
yellow
don't
Goku.
So
They could just give you more color versions of the King Vegeta counter.
They already did the Salsa one, the colorless one or whatever. Of all your colors.
Onto the Demon God or
Onto the
whatever.
Demon God. You need
Yeah,
4
yeah,
more
yeah.
energy though, I think.
Yeah, you
Which-
need 4 or more energy.
where you only need 3.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think of the anniversary box Z leaders? The Vegito, Janemba, Black Broly, Green Boo, and Yellow Zamasu.
The only thing is, sure, yellow Zamasu I think needs some love, but just give me something for set 2 blue Zamasu, please. I just want to be
I
immortal.
don't think
That's all I
don't think
want.
That's yellow Zamasu, dude.
It looks yellow. That's the border and stuff.
It's yellow.
I wish, please. You give me set 2 Vegito. Give me the other Patara. Give me set 2 Zamasu. I want to be immortal. Start milling cards, and then it's just like, oh, if you have to take damage, then you can put 2 back in your deck. Go wild.
Let's see.
It is yellow. I'm looking right at it.
Yeah.
Yellow, Green Boo, Blue Janemba, Red Vegito, and
Yeah, it's one
Black
for each
Movie
color.
Promo Broly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, because the Zenkai energy on it's a
Mhm.
1. It's
Yep.
a yellow.
It would be interesting if that card said a blue or yellow Zamasu.
That's true.
It could do that.
Ooh, it
Yeah.
could do that.
Because you probably need
Or
a
it
yellow
could just-
energy, but
It could just
Or-
say Zamasu.
Or it could just say Zamasu
Yeah.
or Goku Black,
Yeah.
no, that's true.
Well, it's fused, so it could say a blue or yellow Goku Black
Ooh,
or
yeah, that's true.
Zamasu.
That's true. Because Goku Black, they're
Because
just
the
like,
whole
here's
idea
cards.
of this is to make them as generic as possible. So, like,
Yeah.
you know,
Old
like
stuff.
if we get an Android 17 or 18, it would probably be non-color specific.
Yo, make a Zenkai for King Vegeta.
Right.
Let me just boot this man.
I like to see the world
Actually-
burn. What?
This one, right? The good one.
No, the
No, he wants like invaders.
I know. I just
Well,
want my
Wait,
veggies deck to
well,
be
you know,
here.
Zenkai, the Zenkai cards use character name. So even if it said King Vegeta, it would be
Yeah.
able to evolve
Is
over
it?
the BR.
Yeah, Young Invaders. I think is BR.
Yeah, but it would evolve over either because it just cares about character name.
No, the
BR is in
character.
the character name.
Yeah, BR is in the character name.
Yeah. It wouldn't be able to evolve over or go over a King Vegeta BR compared to a regular King Vegeta.
This is the old red-haired one. He looks completely different.
Oh, maybe what it was is the Z leader is treated as the character name as well. Like, for example, the Gotenks one is Gotenks Adolescence, but you can use him cards that say Gotenks Leader. With him.
In his leader skill, it just says a green goat tank, 5 or less life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was something about where it was like, even if, as long as the name is in the character name, it works. I just remember them saying something like
Yeah,
that.
Probably the card name.
It has to have in the character name. So if it says it, as long as it includes blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So like Son Goku, if it includes Son Goku, but the character name on the card or character trait on the card is Son Goku GT, that includes Son Goku in Son Goku GT, so you're able to use it.
Yeah.
Right.
So if it's that kind of collaboration, then you'd be fine.
On the wording.
Right,
Yeah.
that's what it's supposed to be, yeah. So,
So, going back to the Zamasu and Black Broly, too, like, Black Broly could also be a black and or a green Broly to reboot set 1 and or the movie promo, because both of them were the same deck, essentially.
That promo card they gave Black Broly, it was just like you could evolve any. They wanted to make you splash black and green together, so that is probably a good call for that. Because that's not a PR.
I love the Black Broly deck. I played it back since it came out. So
Bio Warrior stuff?
No, it was red-green hand control.
Okay. That's another thing with hand control. You're thinking like, oh, I got to be more aggressive. I'm swinging like those decks that kind of don't have a leader that draws, and you're like, oh, I'm going to do hand control that way. We also got to think that the hand is also going to be shrinking because people are going to be wanting to combo and build up the Z energy, right? Because that was the first thing in mind. I'm like, okay, so I can't sit back and just wait for my only crit guys. I got to be swinging or at least defending, comboing my own hand away. But I'm naturally, both hands are going to be smaller because you're trying to refill another resource now.
Well, like I was telling you, Raj, too, that I've been trying to make launch great, and I think launch can really flourish in this format because you're going to shrink your hand. I'm going to gain a hand, and I'm still going to get Z energy. So it's like, I think a lot of those old-style decks that want you to combo, or even just includes cards, like if you have 2 in the combo, draw a card, even the pseudo combos, those might start seeing like a lot of return. Yep. The Great Ape deck. I think Bardock's going to be really good with that. Finding a way to
launch errata once per turn.
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. Just once per turn.
I know. I'm just messing with you.
Get this man out of here.
But it definitely is exciting to see, especially combo decks like we've seen recently with the U7 Gohan that everyone just jumped ship when U7 Goku came out. But that's one that draws
so
the
much
combo.
better, that's why.
Yeah, now of course, but now it's just like, oh, the combo you're drawing. Now I'm adding a resource. If I got that other Gohan, I'm drawing again. Like a lot of those things.
You might see some kind of hybrid of U7 between the two because with Gohan comboing that much, you could easily play the 8-drop Goku. Like, easily. Because you only need 10 U7s. That's not that hard in Gohan. You get that by turn 3. So it's like benefiting from, because I think they use the freeze unison, right? The one that combos the skillless, or is that?
Yep.
It's the freeze unison. That's what they use. They go 4 Frieza, 1 Piccolo.
Yep. So it's like that Frieza unison is just going to put the skillless that it combos right into the energy.
Yep.
Every time.
But also, you have to be careful with that because you said 10 U7s in the drop. But if you're using your combo for C energy, you won't have them in the drop.
But that's a thing too, right? That's a turn 4 or turn 5 play. You're probably gonna, especially if you're running that Goku, because we're saying that it's generic and stuff. Yeah. You're gonna play it beforehand, and then all that stuff's gonna go to the drop because that's where the Z energy goes after it's been used. So you got your resource back.
But all the C energy, all the C cards that are red as of right now, they have a specified cost too that you have to pay for. So you would be tapping energy. You wouldn't have 4 energy open to be able to do.
I mean the turn earlier. Like the turn earlier already going to have, that's going to be your play the turn before turn 4. is that because it's a 2-drop, at least the one we've seen so far, there's definitely going to be more than one red Z battle card or
Yeah,
Z,
there's what, Shenron and Gogeta coming out.
the 2 leaders.
The only thing though about like that Gohan leader, like I know there's a lot of hype around there, but there's inherent issues either way with that leader that I feel will hinder it. The one big plus, obviously, is the draw power and the fact that it's a Warrior 7, because now you can actually flash other colors, which means you can charge other colors, which means you obviously can technically use other colors in your Z deck for that potentially, which is great. However, you have to keep in mind that Gohan deck, it's very, very linear in exactly how it works, and if it does not see that proper hand, like I know the Z energy stuff helps a bit, but if you do not see your 1-drop Gohan turn 1 and your Unison turn 2, you're basically not playing the game. And then, so your first 2 turns are already taken up by 2 guaranteed plays no matter what. And then your turn 3 onwards is like where you start playing the game. But because how that deck already works, it basically relies on a lot of single strikes. And then maybe, like you said, you can potentially play the 8-drop Goku turn 4 or maybe turn 5. But because that deck is a very simple swing once combo, like you combo once to draw your 2 cards, and then you swing maybe your Unison, then you pass. It's a very poke playstyle because yes, it gets a big hand, but you can't just keep like aggressively comboing and going all willy nilly because you won't be able to draw enough. You won't be able to replace enough because the leader only filters, and then like having the 1-drop out helps you filter, like draw 1, and then even if you do the 17 or 18 combo, you're only technically filtering. So you're only really going +1 once a turn with it. So there's little consistency issues there where even though it technically has all the right stuff on paper, it just doesn't do enough push in how the game is nowadays, right? Compared to like other red decks where they play their threats a lot earlier and they start pressuring a lot earlier, right? Like it's no question. Like for example, KP was threatening because KP, yeah, it had a very similar linear strategy of turn 1 play piano, turn 2 play unison, but then it could also go into free play battle cards to push for more damage, where otherwise if you're tapping energy you were basically falling behind, right? So it's gonna be interesting because like the Z energy stuff might actually be able to save the deck, but like I personally am still very iffy on Gohan. Like it looks good on paper, but like I don't know, it's never enough oomph.
At this point, we just gotta really wait for the red reveals and then have Charles
Mhm.
print out all the cards.
It's probably the oomph it needed.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, there's like Blue barely has any finishers, and just with that revealed cell, like early finishers,
Early,
like I
yeah.
know they have very tall finishers,
Baby. I was about to say,
but
he's got
like,
babies.
it's a 3 energy play that they can finish a game with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, mono
Yeah,
blue
The
yeah.
leads.
issue is the Zenkai area essentially means that you have 7 cards with barrier in your hand at
Yeah.
all time. So like even though you're losing more by comboing, you'll kind of always have like a 7-card hand. So like when you combo out or you like swing with a go wide and swing with a bunch of stuff, and even though you end up with 0 cards in your hand, if you have the Zenkai energy, it's you still have like 7 cards in your hand. You know what I mean? So I think that's it. Kind of like serves as a cushion for people misplaying, to a degree.
Also makes me wonder how GT is gonna go because GT already technically has the second name, so now it's got 3.
Yeah.
GT
Same with Gamma.
banned.
GT get
GT
banned?
gone. It's out of here. Doesn't exist.
Never getting banned, bro.
Well, I mean, you just get
Said this deck is gonna be good and fun and equal for everybody.
hey, I can beat it with launch. You just gotta be fast enough and kill the unison.
Yep.
That deck is
I
so
think-
fragile. You just kick their ass.
Yeah,
I
so
think
you just
unlike-
win the die roll. That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
I do think though, unlike Unisons, because like Unisons drastically changed the game because they gave you just like broken cards that required you to have Unisons to play, like all the counterplays and a lot of free play negates and whatnot. But Z cards, on the other hand, like your deck isn't changing, so they can't really. And since you can only have 7 cards in it, it seems like it's going to be tough for them to make something that's just so broken that it makes you just play play Z
Well-
strategy. So I wonder if every deck will play a Z deck or not, right?
I mean, it's
Well,
there. Why not?
It makes me wonder too that like you got to think about it. So Rise of the Unison Warrior, we got counterplays that required you to have unisons with specified costs, or with 2 or more players. Now, do you think they could make counterplays that require you to say have like 3 Z energy, and then you can activate this counterplay for free by like discarding it?
Yep. No, there will be cards.
Probably.
I really don't think we need a whole lot more counterplay in the game.
I think
Because then
we-
we'll just turn into Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, where it's just
I
like
don't think we. Yu-Gi-Oh's got like 4 main counters.
Yeah, I was gonna say this Dragon Ball. The big thing that it's been off of, at least lately, is how much interaction there is. At least counterattack, counterplay,
I feel
all the
like-
stuff where you're playing on both turns.
I feel like it's trying to mirror Magic in its interactability, because like Magic, I mean, I'm glad we don't go into counter wars like Magic. How many counter spells do you have? Well, I got 1 more. Good luck.
I guess you didn't play during Bad Ring Laser.
Yeah, that was yeah.
I did. I ran Goku's lineage. I really want that deck to come back. Give me
Bad
Z
Ring
cards.
into
for
Bad
it.
Ring into Bad Ring? What?
I will
Yeah,
never
but they
forget
fixed
that.
that.
I miss that era.
I
Yeah.
don't.
I miss the
Get out of here.
simplicity. I want to. Please let me go back to set 8 and play Goku's lineage.
Goku's Lineage Bulma, that shit was fire.
Just then, let's say fuck it and let's go back to Storm.
Are you kidding me? If we're going set 8, just give me Revive Coup with the fucking the Gogeta 7. Just give me Gogeta 7 in any deck, and we'll.
You want
we'll go next.
Reanimator?
There you go.
Bring back World Peace.
Yeah, give me World Peace. Give me
Okay,
Purunga
okay.
original effect.
Just give me fucking
Okay,
Rogeta.
hold on. I have a gripe, like a 4-year-old gripe with this errata. They should have made World Peace 4 or less, not 3.
Yeah,
Like, it wouldn't have been game breaking to have 4. Okay, like there are some great 4-drop cards that you could have actually utilized World Peace, but because they made it a 3-drop, the card was dead. Sorry, I had a 2-3-year-old gripe with that, and it's good defense about it.
hey, that's
I want my Bardox back.
Progenitor?
Yeah.
those
I'll
can
take
bring
Not
those.
it.
there an issue anymore.
Just give me.
I want my
Oh.
Bardock back.
Oh, we have a special guest
I-
actually.
I was gonna say, just give me Child's Wish so I can play weird things that don't work, like
Hey, you better
Secret Evolution
stop
Cooler.
telling him or her to stop flashing the camera like
Yeah.
that. This is a family.
You have Child's Wish for a specific archetype in
Put that
Familiar
on.
Bonds.
Yeah, it's not
Where's my
yellow.
cat?
I can't play the stupid cooler thing where you spam out the secret rare and the 7-drop yellow one from TP1. From
Also-
Turn of Power. That was hilarious.
I think we could all give Bandai a little credit too for. It feels like they're kind of on the ball this time
Hmm.
with like
Oh, yeah.
reveals and like hopping right into it, and I think that deserves some.
They already revealed the secret,
Yeah.
like day 2.
I
mean,
will
that's also
say though,
because-
I'm a little sad that they revealed the secret because they're putting that shatter foil on it.
It's not.
It's
a
not.
set.
It's not Shatter Foil.
Oh,
It's a new Swirl Foil.
It's
okay.
like-
It looked shatter
That's
foil
even-
in that
it does
Robo
look even worse.
Tornado
It does
video,
look-
and I was like, no, you can't do this to anybody. So
If they bring back Shatterfoil, I might go to One Piece or Digimon. I might be.
Jeez.
They
I
have Shadow-
I
just
know
won't buy any of the
someone.
product.
I know someone that it's poaching players to go to One Piece. So just let me know. I'll hook you up.
I don't really give a shit. I will be going to Digimon. I do
We're gonna
not
have
care
a
about One
division
Piece.
of One Piece here, aren't we?
We should.
I'll play both. I don't care.
I'm
All
not-
about that Digimon, bro.
Too many episodes for me. Sorry. But I know it's approaching. We're already at least here, fucking midnight. I think we'll go on to the last topic, being the keyword skill changes. Right, we had Ultimate and Awaken get a slight change on the website, as we saw on the Roshi card, that it doesn't say flip over on the card anymore. They're trying to save some text, make it a little more new player friendly, right? where it's just
Digestible.
like digestible. So it's not as and it even had the colon there too. It's just like a draw 2 or whatever. It's like do what it says and then flip it over is what Awaken is now.
Yep.
Okay.
But which
I didn't read that, but that makes sense.
yeah, Awaken makes sense. The one that we were having a little discussion a bit, was Ultimate. Ultimate being they are giving Ultimate the permanent that some of the newer Ultimate cards have had, where once this leaves the battle area, it's removed from the game. Which does kind of screw with some, very niche tactics, but at least screws with them, because when you saw the Pycon Z, the Z leader, it's like you bounce back and 8-cost Pycon. It's like, I bought this shitty SCR for a reason.
Does it say from the battle area or from the player's battle area?
The battle area.
Okay.
So
then Pan Secret could still steal a secret rare. Because it's not leaving the battle area, it's just changing battle areas.
I mean,
it's affected.
Yeah, that's another thing too. The whole thing where we're like, oh, Kai, maybe this is a whole thing where we're gonna get like Demon Realm Servant decks. Nope. Yeah, Servant. Go to the bottom of the. Oh wait, it's removed from game, and you can't bounce it back.
Wait, would you even get the draw?
Yeah, no, it says your battle area.
Yeah.
Hold on.
All secrets are getting errata at the before the new set comes out with the permanent.
Ultimate is getting errata. Ultimate's getting
it's
changed.
It's not errata, but the ultimate keyword itself is being changed.
Updated.
Yeah. But wait, that Servant SCR. So if it's from, so when you try to bottom deck it with Overlord, do you still get the draw?
Give me 1 second. I'll let you know.
I was gonna say you're doing as much as you can in the skill.
The thing about the Servant is that it gives a 10k power.
And that it doesn't restand is the big thing too. That you're not having a 50k swing, double strike.
Yeah, but it's still a 50k double strike
with a good floodgate.
Tap an energy to stop your opponent from being able to kill you next turn. So
Overlord,
or just on your opponent's turn, you just combo Sarbon and restand it on your opponent's turn.
I guess.
And then put Sarbon in your
Z energy.
That its owner can activate by placing one of their cards with Servant at the bottom of the owner's deck. And then the next section for Overlord says players who activate Overlord draw one. So you just have to activate it. The card hitting the bottom of the deck isn't a cost for the draw. So
so
if you bottom deck the secret rare with the Overlord, you remove it from game and draw one.
Okay. All right, just double check on that.
I don't think it really hurts too much then.
It hurts me. It hurts the scientist over here doing his Kai trying to recur with every means possible. Just
that was sick.
Yeah, and Pan too in the Black Mass Sand.
Vegeta SCR. Now you can't play it for 4, swing twice, get it removed somehow, grab it from drop, play it again next turn.
Or
I've never seen that happen though. So
yeah, I don't.
The one where it's more relevant would be the Frieza Goku SCR, because what you could technically do if you didn't, what some people would do with U7 was they would swing twice with the Goku Frieza, activate main, burn your opponent for 1, then next turn grab it from your grave and then play it again and do it again. That's what they would do. Some people, not me, because I don't have that shit. But
hey, well, you can get it in gold now for only $1,100. I mean, silver. Oh, I'm sorry, silver. And they melted a whole chain.
By the way, I can make that exact card for $25. I just want to say
blessed.
Okay, you guys know where to hook it up, and
Sterling silver. I was gonna make some pure silver leaders, but I was like, you know what? I might step it up, looking into some 18 karat gold plates. Make like 2 or 3 of those, and be like, all right.
Alejandro's like, this is out of my budget.
Your move, Bandai. Let's see,
It's out of my budget.
One thing I'm gonna miss though about the whole ultimate change too is this is something that I'm pretty sure Chris, you're aware of this, something you would do with Sin decks, where you would play out the Celzino and then combo it away and then play the Overwhelm Trunks to grab it from your grave and then play Celzino again and be like, ha, discard another 3, motherfucker. But now you can't do that.
It also hits that 7-drop too, the one that they constantly recur, the blocker. They can't do that anymore.
Oh wait, that's bad.
Yeah.
That's
Wait,
bad.
which one?
The
Sin,
promo sin.
yeah, they don't get the infinite blocker anymore.
Oh, sweet.
I
That's
thought.
awesome.
Does it go to the? Does it just keep coming from the draw? I thought it just
Yeah.
lost power. It didn't
No,
leave the
they
field.
can get it back.
Yeah, but if they
After it dies.
kills, once it dies, they can't get it back because
Oh.
it's removed from the game.
Okay. Yeah, that is rough.
Oh,
Here's a
no.
question: If
Budget
a card,
players.
if a card with ultimate has its skills negated and it dies, it goes to the grave, right? It doesn't get removed from game, right?
I think ultimate is a permanent.
I
Actually,
would personally rule it as a no. It would still get removed because it's in the
It's
in
a
the rule
permanent.
manual.
I think it's
Yeah.
a permanent. It's considered
Yeah.
like a permanent.
Because it's
Okay.
not it's
Well, I guess the question
Because
is,
if you made it
if a card has
skillless,
no. If a card has a permanent skill, but the skills are negated, does the permanent still activate?
No.
I'm getting like 2 head nods. Charles?
Charles,
Well, Charles is
I
trying
know,
to
I'm
like
trying to
say it's more a game mechanic rather
I'm
than.
trying to like mentally wrap my head around.
I was gonna
the
say
question.
my only
but
input to
it's
that.
just a permanent.
Yeah, my only input to that would be the same thing with unique. Like if you blank a card with unique, you can't play that same card with unique.
But that's because of how unique's been specifically worded.
No, you
That's
can.
a little bit.
It's just at the end of the turn
Not at the end
One
of the
of-
turn when it's
one of
played.
them-
Well,
The drop.
when the skill's no longer
the
negated.
unique
it would-
scenario, both of them would have to be negated. The one in play and the one coming into play would have to
Yeah.
be negated.
It's the
And
wording.
then at the end of turn, you pick one to leave.
Hmm.
But this is different. This because there's only one copy. Like
But
Okay, so
I guess
Seeker
the
Rare is in
biggest
play.
thing about this is like without cards like the god, the green god, what was his name? That plays 3 card Belmod. Like we don't really have
Yeah.
cards like Belmod anymore. So like all of these scenarios would be extremely specific and aren't played in like competitive play anyway.
not necessarily, Chris, because if you go release of Evil on a SCR, that is very relevant right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
'Cause then, like-
I guess.
Okay, so
like,
if we're looking, there's a couple ways to look at this, right? So you have a card in play and it has ultimate, and you negate its skills. Ultimate is technically not
Active anymore.
active, right? I mean, even though the permanents don't activate, but it's not a permanent; it's a keyword skill. So in theory, it should be able to go to the drop area if it's removed.
Okay.
But you have to look at it from a deck construction standpoint too, because you can only have one card with ultimate in the deck. So
Yeah.
that concept of that being there is still a thing. So it might be like even though it's negated, it's still inherently there. So you can't keep it. Like it's gonna have to be in the Q&A. It's I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up with Fashion with Ryan, and
Well,
I'll
I
talk
think,
to them about
I think-
it.
So something I'm just gonna bring up an example that happened at Nats. I played my Kai SCR, I swung, and her skills got negated.
Yeah.
And it was ruled that I couldn't restand her.
You swung with her. Her skills. When was her skills negated?
On my swing.
Yeah, but
I
for how
swung
long?
until the end of my turn.
Was it before or after the new end of turn procedures regarding autos?
It was Nats.
you're talking about the servant Supreme Kai? Well, yeah, because she would still have servant at the start of your next turn, so she wouldn't.
Yeah, but if
untap.
you're
That was
playing
at
against
Nats?
if you're playing
guess
against
the-
like
I had
Black-
my
Oh.
So what if they use, so like say you play your secret, sell Xeno, but your opponent has SS3 GT Go Tanks out, which inherently blanks every card on the board. How would that work? I guess that's the good way to look at it, because then it's like a permanent. Everything is continuously blank on both turns.
Yeah, I'll bring that up with everybody, and I'll
Because I think
get us
the
an answer.
Because the only
Go
thing is like
Tanks is the best way.
there's a relevant answer to being hit by Release from Evil if you play an SDR. If they like Release from Evil or something like that, it's attack SDR or something. I'll swing with something else, combo my SCR, and then I'll play Trunks overwhelm, grab it, and play it again or some shit like that, right? Because like if you know you're facing yellow, and if it works that way, I'm gonna side in 2 copies of that Trunks and be like, "Fuck you, yellow, eat a dick and die."
But how are you gonna release from evil when it attacks and then KO it in the same battle and then add it back? Like how is it gonna
You
get
don't knock it out
KO'd when it's
combo
released?
it
Yeah.
because it restands.
Wait, but release from evil prevents from restanding
Yeah,
anyways.
you
Actually,
can't restand, so
But-
you'd have to KO
but you
both
get what I mean,
enemies.
though. So not necessarily release from evil, but like anything else that would negate its skills, right? Because if its skills are negated and I can just combo it away, I can play it again.
Let's even go a step further
you know,
and call
Final
it
Flash.
call like Final Flash or
Petrification.
Petrification,
Petrification.
it doesn't negate the skills, right? It just can't activate the skills.
Okay,
activate.
that's right.
Final
Yeah.
Flash would be more relevant.
Yeah, Final Flash.
Yeah.
But the other one would be
17,
just
8,
thinking about
17
it.
counterplay.
Well, petrification wouldn't even let you combo with the card.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Petrification, Piccolo as well too. Now that we're seeing that with Unison stuff too, that the Garlic Jr.
Yeah,
Piccolo,
counterplay.
the counterplay, yeah. So that one too.
Mafuba.
Okay, let's not get crazy here.
Well, actually, yeah. How does Mafuba work with it?
Oh, wait.
It doesn't leave the battle.
area.
Yeah, it doesn't
It
leave the
doesn't
battle
leave the
area.
battle
It just
area.
stay. This card's placed on top, and then the card underneath
Okay.
is just treated as nothing.
Yeah.
But does it restand at the beginning of your turn? Because the
Yes, it
skills are
would,
yes.
negated.
Yeah,
It would.
it
It's
would.
not. It's not
Even if it
negated,
has
blanks the
servant.
card.
Just yeah, it's just
Yeah,
not a
if
card.
they Mafuba, it would restand.
Yeah.
Because the
It's literally. It's like putting
An empty spot.
the Turles battle extra card in your battle area.
Yeah.
It's gonna restand.
It's just
It's just an extra
just
card in
another-
your battle area.
What about Cold Bloodlust? Because Cold Bloodlust, the card comes in with the skills negated. It's a one-off on yellow. Frieza army.
But you can have two.
yeah.
You can have that Super 17 as well. 2
That's
Bloodlust.
true.
Go wild.
Though if they use a 1-up card to negate your skill, you already just tapped 4 energy to play it, and you happen to have 1 energy to combo it, and then you also happen to have a card to add it back to your hand. I think you deserve to be able to do that. You know what I mean?
But
it's very convoluted.
If you got
It
the
is a
shit up for it,
scenario. Yeah. But it's a scenario because
I can see him burn his eyes. He's gonna make it happen.
100%. I am. It's already. It's already done.
I
Like how in Expert Deck 21 you can technically infinitely recycle or play Baby
Hatch.
Hatch 5 times. It's really
Shit's
broken
jokes.
in theory, but just because you can doesn't mean it's
Mm.
relevant enough.
Yep.
now she can't.
yeah, that's true.
Correct.
Yes, you can. Baby Hatch just goes straight to the drop from your hand, so it can't. It doesn't even get played.
Oh yeah.
Damn.
Because it already had that permanent anyway, leaving the battle area. So Baby Hatch isn't changed at all.
I will never awaken and permanently keep on. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
No, you
What
would
do you-
awaken because you'd be awakened, and since you Baby Hatch, since you can't play the card, it goes to your drop area. By
Oh
getting
yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Sorry,
then you
Celine.
retreat to Gohan to add it back to your hand. Yeah.
Something
Guys,
also.
call it a night.
I was gonna
Silly
say,
buddy.
we could close it out right now anyway.
Yeah.
Did you have the final thought, Briar? If it's real quick, and then we can
Yeah,
get
it's real
super
quick,
play
just-
over there to close out.
It's just real quick. Just I noticed. I don't know if anyone else has seen it too, but like a lot of the wording on the new cards is a lot more clean and a lot more specific in things, and a lot less confusion, which is really
The
good.
hyphen.
That's
They
nice.
gave the hyphen for both. I think they might have gotten another translator on there or something, just going wild. He's like, you know what, this sounds better. But
It's good.
They could
Yeah,
have
it's
hired
a good
new
thing.
translation team.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Very good.
With
High
that
school
being
English.
said, yeah, we basically that's a good cliffhanger with this whole ultimate situation. But I'm still not a huge fan of it for just old SCRs that are dog shit. At least you can at least mimic something in your brain. But I know it's very niche and whatever. But
Like the one getting reprinted, Hyper Revolution.
there you go, another one too. But the good old super player there, take it away with the partners, and I know Carl is usually the one who does it, but he hasn't even been on these team talks. This guy's enjoying time with his family. Like, what the
Carl
fuck's wrong
who?
with this guy?
What the hell?
Carl, who?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's run the shoutouts at the end. So we have game 3. Make sure you check them out. That's very important. We have free tournament. It's free. It's free. You just come up, just tell them that you want to play, and you wait every week, and you play every single week, and you get free shit. Can't be better than that. We have TCG Metals, Team Deck Planet, the best website to make your decks. Make sure you take a look at their new section where you can actually print your full list for tournaments. Very cool and neat tool for the upcoming nets, all you lazy people. And make sure that you tune in next week so we can find out what's going to happen with the ultimate keyword. And I guess with that being said,
And
this
shout
would
out to Alejandro.
this would be in the future, right? So we're in the future, even though we're here now. So technically, we should have a video up in the Super Players channel. We got that done today. Super excited. With great shout outs to everyone in the team. So please, this would come out after that video. So go check it out. It's a cool Golden Frieza list. Just make sure you go check it out and jump on the toxic wagon that Biriar and myself have created.
Hey, I want a little credit.
I think everyone fell victim to it. So I think it's a good thing to just shout out everyone in
And stay super.
and don't forget, just throw your champas away, use Kai, and double strike create them fools.
That's a wrap.